Something is broken on GitHub, but unless you're maintaining an open source project, you probably have no idea that this problem even exists, and trust me, I wish I wouldn't know it either. Because when my phone started buzzing on a Sunday afternoon at a family dinner, I didn't know that GitHub would ruin the rest of my weekend. Over the past few weeks, the open source time tracker solidtime that I've been maintaining for about a year now has gained a lot of momentum and has finally made us filthy rich. Well, at least in GitHub stars. But with all of that fame and glory, we also attracted the worst actors on the entire internet. Best known for the masterpieces link in bio and Viagra in the YouTube comments, spam bots flooded our GitHub repository. From one moment to the next, our GitHub issues were filled with spam about shady football live streaming sites. That's really annoying not only for us who have to clean up the mess, but also for everyone who subscribed to the notification on the repository, because they got the notification spammed. But if it ended here, I wouldn't make this video. Unfortunately, it gets worse. For a long time, GitHub got away with having minimal spam and bot protection, but over the last years, GitHub has grown even more in popularity, and spammers found ways that they could abuse GitHub repositories to get their spam indexed in Google. GitHub's tools for spam protection, however, are basically non-existent. To my knowledge, there is no system whatsoever to classify a new issue as spam. In fact, to test this out, I went onto GitHub and made a completely new account with a fresh email address. After that, I went into one of my repositories and created a bunch of the most obvious spam issues that I could come up with. I even included a link to a real shop to buy Viagra. Those issues have been sitting there publicly visible for weeks now, because GitHub does not have any protection system to hold back issues whatsoever, and also because it took me a really long time to make this video. All I had to do is solve one captcha during the registration process, and as we already know, captchas do not stop spammers. All of that would have been a lot less annoying if we actually had the tools to clean up the mess quickly afterwards, but for whatever reason, GitHub does not allow you to mass delete the issues on your repositories. Instead, you have to go into every single issue and delete them separately. Unfortunately, GitHub does also not allow you to delete the issues via the API, because I'm sure someone would have hacked together a script by now to mass delete them. You can, however, close multiple issues at once, but that was not an option in our case, as we do not want to keep the issues in the repository. And more importantly, it would also send another notification to all the people watching the repository. Of course, we also wanted to get those bots permanently banned from the platform, so we tried to report them all via the appropriate form. Weirdly enough, I got rate limited after reporting about 3 of those accounts. In GitHub's defense, there is a feature to limit the interactions on a single repository or even all repositories of a single organization. And of course, we did enable this feature after the first wave of spam issues, blocking all new users from interacting with our repositories. However, this didn't really work, and just a few days later, we had another wave of spam issues flood our repositories. As it turns out, new users are just accounts that are less than 24 hours old, so spammers can just wait 24 hours and post the spam after that. Unfortunately, the options for restricting the activity on the repository are quite limited. Logging out new accounts is really the only option without blocking almost the entirety of GitHub. It is a frustrating position to be in, as a lot of maintainers are just left with countless hours of cleanup after their repositories got spammed. And it's not a small issue that is just affecting us or just a few repositories. If you look at the GitHub community discussions, you'll see lots of people complaining about those issues. And it is especially embarrassing that they are not able to protect maintainers against such obvious spam, given the fact that Microsoft, GitHub's parent company, is pushing AI so hard. Okay, I think you get the point. But even if they won't deploy any advanced AI spam detection, at least give us the tools to deal with it. Maintainers should be able to mass delete and report issues. That's the most straightforward solution to at least deal with the spam after the fact. There should also be a way to have issues in some sort of pending state until they are approved by the maintainers, like it is the case with basically every comment section on the entire internet, including the one on YouTube. And because the spam is quite similar in most cases, word block lists that send the issues into that pending state automatically would also massively help. GitHub, please do better. And if you're looking for a better way to track your time, maybe check out solidtime, the open source time tracker for your freelance or agency work at solidtime.io. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, And if you wanna see really cool things that you can do on GitHub, check out my video where I hosted an uptime monitor on GitHub completely for free. See you in the next video.